All right, we're going to dive into a really powerful book today, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And it's all built on this one simple promise, that a single shift in your thinking can help you get the life you really want.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to wonder about this? It's such a huge question. What's the thing that really separates people who make it from those who don't? Is it just luck, pure talent, or something else completely? Well, this book just jumps right in. And you know what? The answer is way simpler than you'd think. It all comes down to one single thing: belief. That's the secret. It's this deep, unshakable belief that you can do great things. Because here's the real insight, right? We don't act based on what's actually possible in the world. We act based on what we believe is possible for us. Okay, so this is the first big idea we've got to unpack: your belief system. Think of it like a thermostat for your life. It doesn't really matter what's happening outside. Your internal system is always going to work to match whatever setting you've put in. So, if you set it to small, you're going to act small. But if you set it to big, well, you start acting bold.
And this quote from Schwartz just nails it, doesn't it? The size of your success is determined by the size of your thinking. This isn't just some fluffy motivational saying. It's like a fundamental law. I mean, think about it for a second. Every huge innovation, from the Wright brothers getting a plane in the air to the smartphone that's probably in your pocket right now, started because someone dared to think of a bigger possibility.
And here's where it gets really practical. Look at the difference here. A small thinker hits a roadblock and the first thing they say is, "I can't do this." And that's it. Story's over. But a big thinker hits that exact same wall and asks a totally different question. Okay, how can I make this work? See that? That tiny little shift in language forces your brain to switch gears and start hunting for solutions, instead of just giving up.
All right, so if thinking big is this powerful secret weapon, what's stopping us all? Why isn't everyone doing it? Well, Schwartz has a great name for it. He calls it excusitis. Yeah, he literally calls it the disease of failure. But here's the good news: it is 100% curable.
And here's what makes this disease so tricky. Excuses, they're not just about being lazy. Oh no, they're much smarter than that. They're these clever little defense mechanisms our brains build. They sound logical, they feel reasonable, because their whole job is to protect us from the discomfort and the fear of trying something and maybe failing. The big problem, though, they also keep us completely stuck.
So, do any of these sound familiar? Because we all have our favorites, right? The go-to excuses. Oh, my energy just isn't great. Or, I'm too old to start something new. Or maybe, I'm too young, no one will take me seriously. And let's not forget, I'm just not smart enough for that. Or some people are just lucky. They're just stories, that's all they are. And the second you see them for what they are, fear wearing a clever disguise, that's when you can finally start taking them apart. So if excusitis is the disease, then what's the cure? What's the prescription? Well, here it is. You can't just think your way out of fear. You have to act your way out of it. And this is hands down the most powerful antidote there is.
Honestly, this might be one of the most important lines in the whole book. Action cures fear. See, fear absolutely loves it when you do nothing. Inaction is its fuel. Hesitation is its oxygen. But the very second you take even one tiny step forward, you start to starve that fear and feed your confidence instead.
And this reveals a kind of secret cycle that really successful people just get. See, most of us think we need to feel confident before we can take action. But it's the complete opposite. It's totally backwards. You have to act first, even when you're scared out of your mind. The confidence, that comes after. It's the reward you get for proving to yourself you could handle it.
A great way to think about it is like a muscle. You don't build muscle by just thinking about lifting weights, right? You get strong by actually lifting them. Well, confidence works the exact same way. Every little action, like speaking up in that meeting or finally starting that project, that's a rep. And you got to celebrate those small wins because that's what builds real momentum.
All right, so action is part one of the cure. Now for part two, your attitude. Think of your attitude as this incredibly powerful magnet. It's on all the time, either pulling awesome opportunities and people towards you or pushing them away. I mean, just look at this. You can have two people facing the exact same tough situation. One person sees it and thinks, this is too hard, it's a dead end. The other person looks at it and goes, okay, this is a chance to grow. The problem is the same. The attitude is what changes the entire outcome. And this isn't about pretending problems don't exist. It's about choosing to see them as opportunities.
So how do you actually build this kind of attitude? It's not magic, it's just small daily habits. It really is a choice. You can start your day by just asking, what's good about today? Practice gratitude, and maybe most importantly, focus your energy on the things you can actually control. That alone shifts you from feeling like a victim of circumstances to feeling empowered.
Okay, let's get a little more strategic now. Because having a big mindset is fantastic, but without a game plan, it's really just daydreaming, right? So this next part is all about how you channel that big thinking into actual goals, creative solutions, and how you deal with people.
The first thing is your goals. Don't set these safe little goals you already know you can hit. You've got to set goals that stretch you, that kind of pull you forward and force you to get better. If your goals don't scare you just a little bit, they're probably not big enough. That little bit of fear is actually a good sign. It means you're leaving your comfort zone, and that's the only place real growth can happen.
And this is such a powerful hack for creative thinking. Stop asking, can it be done? That's a yes or no question, and it just opens the door for doubt. Instead, start asking, how can it be done? That simple change completely flips the script. It assumes it's possible, and it immediately puts your brain to work on finding the way.
And finally, it's crucial to remember that thinking big is never, ever a solo mission. Real leaders, the people who are truly big thinkers, they get that their success gets so much bigger when they empower the people around them. They're not trying to compete with everyone. They collaborate. They give credit where it's due, and they inspire confidence in others. You know the saying, a rising tide lifts all boats?
So let's bring all this home. How do you make thinking big something you just do automatically, like a reflex, instead of just a nice idea you heard about? Well, you have to build it into your everyday life. It's all about consistent, intentional habits.
And here is a simple but really powerful checklist for that. First, feed your mind with positivity, especially in the morning. Second, pay attention to who you hang out with. Surround yourself with other big thinkers, because that energy is absolutely contagious. Third, act like the person you want to become. Walk the walk. And fourth, never ever stop learning. Stay curious. And this, right here, is really the ultimate takeaway. The magic in the title, it's not some one-time huge dramatic moment. The magic is in the tiny, consistent, daily choices you make. It's the combined power of all those small, courageous decisions you make every single day. It's choosing belief instead of doubt, action instead of fear, and growth instead of comfort over and over again.
So there you have it. You've learned the magic. The principles are clear. The path is pretty well laid out. Now there's really only one question left, and it's the only one that truly matters. How are you going to use it?